The West Virginia Child Advocacy Network released its statewide data report for the 2025 fiscal year. According to a release from Star Child Advocacy Center, the data in the report reflects service from West Virginia's 21 child advocacy centers who serve 48 of 55 counties. During the fiscal year, West Virginia Child Advocacy Center served over 4,000 children. North Star saw 558 children during the 2025 calendar year, which is 11% higher than last year. 37% of the children served were there because of allegations of sexual abuse, 38% were there on allegations of physical abuse, and 35% were there on allegations of drug endangerment. 59% of alleged offenders were the child's parent. Charges were filed in 29 cases, with 22 offenders being indicted. Earlier today, Executive Director Greg Collins received $5,000 from the state of West Virginia. The money comes from the local Economic Development Assistant grant that was awarded by the House of Delegates. Late last year, Wood County Delegate Scott Heckert visited North Star and asked what they needed. This is the fourth year in a row that Delegate Heckert has helped North Star with an award from this grant. Collins said, quote, "He is a great champion for our children and uses his voice and network to bring people to us that can help North Star. We are blessed to have delegates in Charleston that care about what is happening to our kids," end quote.